Hi everybody, and welcome to the stream. I'm just getting the audio levels here squared away, and the chat is loading up now, so give us a second. Okay, hopefully I got everything going. Audio sounds good. Music sounds okay. Okay, I think we're about ready to get started here. Tone that down a bit on my end. Up on yours. And with any luck, things will be all right. Looks like everything's loading up now. I'm going to test the chats real quick. Make sure they're rocking and rolling like I want them to be. And looks like I received them all on my side, so I know if you guys are out there that I will be able to hear you guys. Welcome to the coloring stream. Today, of course, as teased all through the week and last week, we are going to be digitally coloring Space Gal here. So I'm going to get the scan thrown up right there for you. Now, if you guys are having trouble seeing this or whatever, please let me know if you want me to zoom in, zoom out, whatever. It's all good in the hood, You tell me what's up. Hi, Sue. How you doing today? Good to see you. Glad you could make it. Like I said, we're just getting started, so I got our inked piece scanned and thrown up there. I haven't altered this in any way except for just scanning the image, and that is it. Good deal. Hey, how does the sound? Voice good? The music okay? Not too loud? Everything's awesome? You let me know. I'm going to move my chat window off to the side here so I can see it. And then as far as the look of this thing goes, I'm going to kind of move it into the chat. I want a little bit of a bigger window. And hopefully that shouldn't take up too much space for you guys. How's that look? Grande. I like to start by just kind of looking around at the image here. Seeing what I can see. Parts on the inks I might want to clean up. My scanner isn't the best, so there might be little bits and smudges, but nothing's jumping out at me too crazy. So this is good. Sue, I do, and we're gonna actually do that right now. So what I normally do when I start with this is I definitely like a zoom out. I'm gonna use my crop tool, and I'm gonna get this sticker off of here that's at the top, and just kind of make. I like to leave white space until I trim it at the very end, but let's trim it down. No, you're fine. Ask questions away. With any luck, I'll be able to answer them or talk to it. But yeah, that's legit the first thing I do here. I go to my curves. Now this is GIMP, so it's like the freeware version of Photoshop. It's got a lot of the same functionality, but stuff's in different spots. And what I do here is this can allow me to make the blacks a little bit blacker and the whites a little bit whiter. So I'm going to do a couple of passes with that. Just kind of getting the darks nice and dark, the whites white. Just to a point that I like it, and then I'll go in a little bit more and just see. That looks pretty decent. You can see some of the areas are a little bit, like in here, are a little bit not super dark. And that's something that I like to change. Let's get the midtones just a little darker here. I always like to stay zoomed out a bit so I can see the whole image. That looks pretty decent as is. So the next step after I'm happy with that, go into colors here, and then I am going to threshold. And this changes all of the pixels from whatever the color they are to either black or white. And with the slider bar here that you guys should be able to see, let me make sure you can see that. No, looks like a lot of these things are popping up in new windows. So if you're unable to see that, I apologize. Let me see if I can fix that here in the window capture screen. Uno momento. If I blink out, I'll try to get us back here. Okay. Let's see if that helps any. Doesn't look like it is. Okay, so with GIMP, a number of windows are going to pop up that apparently I'm not capturing correctly here. This one's a threshold. Now this is going to change, like I said, all the pixels either black or white. You can probably see as I'm sliding the bar it changing a bit. The darks get darker. I can take it all the way down to like crazy nothing. I like it just a pinch on the darker side. I'm going to zoom in while I'm doing this. And you can kind of see how things are changing a bit. Getting darker or lighter or whatever. So kind of on the darker side, I like it. I can kind of look around in the window then. See if anything, again, jumps out at me as particularly bad or good or whatever. I think that looks all right. Okay, and now that we have the entire image is either black or white, I can go ahead and use my select all of a color tool. Find a black. Let's make sure I get a black. Like so. Selects everything black. I can control copy, control V, and that will paste it, and we'll put that on a new layer. So there we have all of our inks with a transparent background. That's the thing I want. And I'm going to take this pasted layer and I'm going to put it at image size. The layer is an image size. So this I can always refer back to. And I have this thing clean here. These are the layers off to the side. And this is just my process. I know a lot of people do digital work differently, but this is just how I work it. So from here, let's get out. I want to zoom in just a pinch. Just a pinch. Let's zoom it back out. That'll work. I'm going to make a new layer, and I am going to title it here. I'll just call it layer. It's a transparent layer. And I'm going to rename it as initial color. And now this layer of initial color, what I like to do here is just kind of sloppily paint on it. This is where I'm just trying to figure out what colors that I want things to be in this image, and it'll be my guide going forward. So if you guys have any color suggestions, by all means, like, start shouting them out. Shout it out loud like a Kiss song. It's all good. I'm feeling this yellow, and I'm just gonna bloop, bloop, bloop. No big deal. Slap it in there. And this will be where, like I said before, I'm making those initial color decisions before I refine further. So I have this weird idea about, I don't know, Wally Wood, I think, did a cover where a girl has a yellow spacesuit, and that always struck me, so I kind of like that. But we can always change this stuff later. Maybe let's have like a pinkish sky, something alien and weird. We can make that black like space later. Maybe the planet she's on is kind of reddish. Probably should have done the background first, but I just had that yellow spacesuit in my head for her. You know what? Maybe the sky should be a darker shade of red then, leading up to like a cool, like super dark up in the top. Maybe we'll do that. So yeah, so this isn't one of the fun parts where I'm just trying to figure out, I don't like that. Just what colors are going to be what. Let's turn the opacity down. Give it another pass there. Maybe that's kind of blue. Kind of gray right here in the middle. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. We're working on it. Maybe for the clouds, kind of do it in this weird orangey spectrum color. Something like that. Just like I said, trying to figure out what I want to do with the colors. Maybe make them a little bit lighter, redder towards the background, the mountains. Less saturated here. And the more forward they come, the more saturated they get. So like I said before, sorry if you guys aren't able to see the windows that open up where I'm picking colors and stuff. It's kind of weird that that's how that's happening. And then maybe just a little bit more here. And we can completely change all of this too. If we wanted, we could make it like a weird green planet. I don't know. Do whatever. Do whatever we want. And that's kind of what's so fun about coloring, I think. Is the ability to just take it and kind of run and make whatever you want, you know. So that's cool. So if we like how these things are turning out, we can then go ahead and let's bump that all the way up. Put in our girl's face. Let's get a nice like brown. There we go. Maybe like a blue on the boots. You know, and this is where, like I said, we're just playing, having fun. Color picker tool. We'll grab our color here. Can fill in the areas that I went over. And just I like having this rough guide. It really helps later. So how about that monster? I don't know what color to make him. He could be like bright red, potentially. I'm gonna make him blend into the background a bit, but you know, it's something we can work on. So if you guys have any color choice ideas, slap them at me. Pastel gray blue for the monster. We can do that. I tell you what, let me get the gist of him put in. And then I can select all and refill. To real quick color picker here. Put that in. Okay, so let's try that pastel blue like you were saying. So I can use my let's make the threshold a little bigger. No. Let's make the threshold way smaller. There we go. Okay, so pastel gray blue. Let's go to colors and bring up our hue and saturation window. I tell you what, let me see, I have an idea. I have an idea here. Let's add in a window capture. And let's have it be there we go. So that's my little hue saturation window. Now you guys can see it. And we can kind of adjust things. Let's change these reds here. Oh man, it's like a Dr. Seuss monster book. I love it. Maybe in the turquoise area, huh? We can desaturate to an almost gray look. We can bump the saturation up, but I don't think that's what we're looking for. And then we can definitely tone down the light and dark here too. So if you guys see one you like, just throw it out there. That'll dump the saturation down. That definitely is contrasty, that's for sure. I don't know. What are you guys thinking? I'm gonna say okay. We can also look around here. Let's remove that color picker. And let's do this. This is what we should do here. Hold on. There we go. Now you guys should be able to see the color. Sue, is that the color he is currently, or was it one that I had already passed? Because he's kind of cloudy moss green right now. This one right on. Okay, select none. Let's get in there and get this. Oh. This spaceship done. Cool, cool. Maybe we'll give it some blue tail fins. And then we can kind of put just a little bit of a hint of that blue. Right in her space helmet there. And then how about for this guy, let's do some white eyeballs. Just so we can see. Oh, no, you're fine, Sue. You're fine. You're fine. Yeah, it is hard to figure out how to do the faces, and we'll get there. That's usually a place I start with, to be honest with you. Once I get, like, the overall feel for what I want, it's usually the faces. I try to do the hardest parts first. And so, that's oftentimes where I start. Once I go into, like, fully detail everything. Get it all right. Okay, cool. Well, we could do some fun things like give this guy some nice yellow claws. You know? We also got to think about what color her gun is going to be and how much attention do we want to draw to it. And I'm drawing with a mouse here, so if this is not precise in any way, shape, or form, well, that's just how life goes sometimes. How about we do the gun? Whoa, that was weird. I'll put this down here. Yeah, I definitely do not have the money for a fancy Wacom tablet or anything like that. So, unfortunately, I'm stuck with the mouse. And you just got to make do with what you got, you know. Okay. And there we go. And then we can pick a fun fin color. How about the blue to match her ship? I don't know if that blends in too much with the green guy. Yeah. I think we need a contrasting color. There's so many cool ones out there, and they're all so much money. But they're great, you know. I think I'd have a lot of fun with that. But yeah, biting, that seems like such a big bullet to bite, if that makes sense. Okay. Some white maybe in his horns. Maybe the horns will be a different color, but for now, we're just going to stick with a simple, and we can go in later and adjust all of this. There we go. And then where's his green color? And let's get a little bit more whitish yellow here for these mandibles. No, you know what? That doesn't sound too picky. I get what you're saying. Believe me, I do. It would be so much harder to learn without, you know, you'd have to take the time to really learn how to do it without using your without looking at what you're drawing on. I think that would be so weird. All right. Here's a big part of this is we go way out. Let's zoom it even further out. So here's a big thing is, I heard this tip a long time ago, but they basically say if you're painting or whatever, you have to walk far away from it. Exactly. Zoom and squint. But the whole thing is that you want this thing to be like the size of your thumbnail. And you want to still be able to generally tell what's happening in it. Or at least get a decent enough look at it with the colors. So right now, looking at this, her body, I think, looks good. That yellow right there is a nice bright contrast to the red. That green alien is a nice bright contrast. I can even see the red of her little laser gun. And the one thing that's kind of bugging me is where her head and helmet are. I can see the rocket ship clearly. That's good. So all the important elements. Her body, pointing a gun, big monster. You can tell he's got 3 eyes. So that's good. That's good. So that means we got to do something here with this helmet. Let's try this. Yeah, I want a nice, crisp, clear read on this. Okay, let's try that. That looks a little better, I think. I can definitely see the dome. It's almost like a silhouette around her head, and that I think pops out more. If you guys think so or otherwise, let me know. But yeah, that looks a bit better. Definitely pops out more. It reminds me of like in a religious painting. They'll often put, old school people would put the halos of light around the back of a head of, like an apostle or Jesus or whatever. And this kind of gives me that vibe, not in the religious context, but in the way that you can, that big circle behind their head that really brings their head forward, that really brings your attention to it. So that's good. I'm happy about that. I think we could maybe lighten up the spaceship a bit too. Just looking at that. Let's go into the blue spectrum. And let's go back. That might be a little too bright. Let's tone her down. Back to where it was. The golden disc of judgment. Okay. Yeah, I think that'll do. The spaceship is a secondary element, so let's stick with that. Oh, and how could I ever forget? We've got to get our little astro brain colored up. No, convent till you were 13. Yeah, you probably do. I can only imagine. And then some of this stuff will be colored a bit. Whoop, there we go. Ooh. Well, hopefully it was okay for you, you know. But yeah, I'm sure you got quite an education on all of the religious art and stuff like that. Zippity doo dah. This guy's gonna have a little bit of whiteness. Little baby Astro Brain. So cute. He goes bleh. And then their amoeboid here, we'll make him kind of a blue-green. Well, no. It's going to blend in with this. So let's make him purplish. Amoeboids are the natural enemy of the Astro Brains. Still looks pretty good, even with the stuff around her, so that's good. Hey, I'm glad I could help. That's the best compliment I can receive. I've inspired someone to draw alien things. Well, good. Good. Have fun with it. Enjoy. Alien things are awesome. I love alien things, but you guys probably already knew that. And then let's do some green streaks in here. Make some of these some different colors. Get some reds up in there, purples. Very cool. I will check that out here in a second. Let me get some more colors put in on this thing. Let's make that greener. There we go. Cool, cool. So now let's take a look. I still like it at a small size. So I think we're ready to start getting into the thing. Let me check out your drawing here. Loading now. Hey, I like it. I like his hat. Very cool. I dig it. I dig it. Okay. So we are good here. It's good here. So let's leave that initial color on. Let's go to a new layer, and I'm going call it background sky and background sky. It's all good, no problem. Thank you for sharing. Okay. So I put the layer between the inks and the initial colors. I'm going to take my, go to initial color, grab this color, swap them out, grab up here. Skip the ad. And I'm going to use my gradient tool. They don't want that. Okay. Actually, even better idea. Cordon off where the sky is going to be. There we go. And let's put our gradient in that. Let's make this a wee bit darker. And this a wee bit lighter. Actually, I'm not digging this. Let's make this kind of a purpley color. And get it just right. There we go. I'm okay with that. Actually, no, I'm not. I have lied to you. Because I want to be able for us to see our space bats. Okay, good. Background sky is good. We can turn that off for now. Here's where things are going to get fun and tricky. So I'm going to create a new layer. I make tons of layers, and I'm going to call this Clouds, SIL Clouds, Silhouette Clouds. What I like to do is create a layer that's just the pure white, that's just the silhouette of whatever I'm looking at, that I can, so I can select it really easily. So this is the boring part of the stream, folks. Buckle up. Buckle your safety belts. And while I'm doing this, I can also go to my pasted layer and any of these little bits that don't look good, the little junky parts, just knock them right out. There we go. Alrighty, let's go back to our cloud silhouettes. And just zip around these. This would be easier with a pen. But, you know, you play the hand you're dealt. Oof. I love using a mouse. I do. Okay, good. You just go all the way across to the other clouds. Get up in there. Almost to the end. And now to connect them. Oh, that's way too far away. And with any luck, boom. We got our cloud silhouette for the lower clouds. Let's do the upper ones then. These will probably take just a pinch longer, but at the end of the day, I think it's worth it to do this. Life will become infinitely easier when I can just select all of the cloud color. There we go. Okay. Flood fill that. Get in here, knock that out, and then just erase these little guys here. And like I said, I know other people have other ways of doing things like this, but this is just how I roll. And I know that different programs have different tools you can use. I think now Photoshop has a just color this for me button that you can press. It just colors something intuitively. GIMP doesn't have that. Plus, if I'm honest with you guys, I'm a bit of a control freak. I really like to have control over my own drawings. Exactly. Yep. Photoshop, man. They're crazy algorithms. You just press the button and boom, it's done. I like my digital color in the old-fashioned way. Yeah. I think the reason I haven't gone to Photoshop is just because this is free. I'm a cheapskate, and I know this pretty well. With Photoshop, there'd be more... I'd have to take the time to relearn it. And right now, I'm just more comfortable just zipping it in this way. And the other thing, too, is I can't force myself to draw with like closed lines, if that makes sense. I know a lot of people do. A lot of people make sure that all of their little lines are closed up so they can just use the not the lasso tool, the like select in an area tool. And again, I can't do that. I leave these free floating lines everywhere. Like this big gap here. Ooh, what's is Sketchbook a program you're referring to, or are you just saying my sketchbook is free? Because yes, that's my go-to option when I just feel like doing some drawing. Just bust out the sketchbook. But if that's a program, I have not heard of that. Yeah, it just feels better, the cutoff lines. There's just something about it that just... feels good, you know? Ooh, thank you for the link. I will check that out here. Let me get these clouds done. Hi, Shannon. How you doing today? Good to see you. Good to see you. What's new and exciting? You guys getting prepped for Erie Comic Con? Okay, there we go. Let me, while I'm on this side of the page, hit these little zippity doo-dahs. Good, good. Me too. I think it's going to be a fun one. Whoop, that went crazy. Okay. Let me just trim these up a bit. You know, I know some people go under the ink. Some people go over. I like to go underneath of the inks. And then I can color over top of them later, but I like to have this kind of there we go. Okay. So we are almost done with the clouds, it looks like. The cloud silhouettes, at any rate. Trim it out. Zoom out. And boom, there we go. And I think that's all the clouds. Yep, that's it for our clouds. Okay, so at this point I could put the background sky back in. I got the clouds in a nice looking silhouette. From here, what I can do is use the select by color tool to select that. It just gives a nice silhouette. And then when I go to layer, I'm going to make a new layer and I'm going to call this clouds. Just plain old clouds. And then from here I can start coloring in whatever color I want. And this is kind of my process. Because now I'm in the clouds layer, I can just color whatever, you know, and let's put in some like crazy pink there and whatever. And I'm like, what if I don't like that, you know? What if I'm like, oh crap, you know, I want to keep the red, but I want to erase this or whatever. I just want to select it. Let's go to select none. You know, oh crap, I just want to erase that pink right there, but I don't want to get out into the whole image or whatever. I can go to the cloud silhouette, select it, and we're good. I probably didn't explain that good at all, but it'll become more apparent like as I'm working on it. So it just allows me to select just the cloud layer, or just the clouds there. So, but let's go back to our initial color. Oh, Take that sky out and do our select tool and get that nice color there. And now I can just, nope. And just pop that in like that. Now that's a pretty flat color. Now I can go back in, select by color, go back up. So now we can start to think about if we want the clouds to be lighter on top, darker near the bottom, etc. I actually think they're going to be probably darker towards the bottom. So let's lower our saturation down and let's increase the red value a bit because the light is coming from, let's say over here, there's a sun we can't see. It's beaming light down, the light's hitting the tops of the clouds, the bottoms are dark, but it hits the ground, which is red, and bounces that color back up. So let's get a little bit of this red, and I'm going to use the airbrush tool. And I can go, and we're going to start here along the horizon line here and just kind of zip in this darker color a little bit. Make sure I get up here and do it a little bit more too. And then we can go just along the edge here down below. Get that in. And this is going to look really messy right now, but we'll get there. I'm glad the explanation was good because I barely knew what the heck I was saying. So I'm glad you got it. Yeah, and GIMP definitely has an easy interface. Once you set it up, because you have to kind of set it up so that your tool options are right along the side here. That's not a standard feature, I don't think. Oh, that window was weird. I'm going to minimize that for now. I didn't realize it had all those lines on it. But yeah, GIMP's a nice interface to use. Okay, so that's kind of our undersides of the clouds bouncing around. Let's do a brighter shade. We're going to knock the value up a bit on that. We're going to knock the towards the yellow side. There we go. And I'm going to even increase this a little bit more. Just hit these cloud tops just a little bit while we listen to the soundtrack to Godzilla. Oop. Godzilla, the man himself. Okay. Same with up here. Hit these tips and tops. Okay, so let's zoom us out. And now I'm going to do the first filter, which is a Gaussian blur. And this, I'll show you the window here. Give me a second. Okay, there's our Gaussian blur window for you guys to see. A Gaussian blur blurs it in all the directions equally. These are locked so they will scale together. And the higher it gets, the blurrier they'll get. Now, since I have it all in a selection, it's not going to go past the selection borders. It's only going to blur within the selection. You'll see we'll get edges here that are kind of transparent. So I like to knock this up. Let's give it a good blur. And then let's do a second pass on it. Even a little more at this point. There we go. Let's turn that initial color off. Shannon, I'm not sure what Krita is, so no, I have not. Okay. And then we're going to do our cloud, select the silhouette. We're going to create a new layer. We'll call it Clouds 2. We're going to put it behind Clouds 1. And we're going to take our initial color, or something close to it. Maybe a little bit of. And we're going to throw them in. That's going to help define those edges, make them crisp them up a bit that our blur knocked away. And there we go. Now, something to consider too is we could always put this clouds layer over top of the inks, and we can knock the transparency way down on them. And that's going to kind of deaden the inks a little bit. They're not going to be quite as crisp black. I usually worry about that towards the end though, and we can do that with things like duplicating layers. So for now, let's just leave that as is. Let's create a new layer, and I'm going to call this again SIL Planet 1 and SIL Planet 2. And we're, of course, dropping these back behind the clouds. And Planet 2 is going to be our rear planet, the big one. So what is Krita? Tell me about it. I've not heard of that. So between Sketchbook and Krita, it sounds like I'm going to have some free art program homework to look into. Nothing wrong with that. Okay. This is easy enough. Whoop, come here. What is Krita good for? Like, is there something that it's very good at doing? All right, Silhouette Planet 1 is the smaller one. You know, it's really weird to me because I know some people, other people have said that they use, you know, multiple art programs at once. It has never occurred to me to do so. Like, anytime I need any kind of art stuff done, I just go right into GIMP and do it. So that's interesting. Select this lavender. Planet 1. And how do you use them in conjunction with one another? For drawing and painting. Okay, we can turn off our initial color. Now, Shannon, do you have like what the heck's it called? Like a Wacom tablet kind of a deal? Something like that? Why are you... Oh, select none. There we go. You know what's a great drawing program? You guys have never heard of it. MS Paint. I know, it's pretty obscure, but I love it. It's my favorite. I'll have to check it out. I want to check out both of those then. That sounds awesome. Okay. So being that our light source is coming from over here-ish, up this way, let's say it's up above these planets. I'm now going to get in and we'll do planet 2, the background first. And I can take this and I can really darken it. So let's get those planetary stripes put in. DOS, I love DOS. Let's just say I'm a big fan of mounting drives. Ooh, a UG tablet. Sweet. Okay. Now I'm going to blur this when all this is done, so I'm just kind of slapping it in there. No pressure, no worries. I'm definitely going to have a dupe layer going over the inks at the end of the day with this. So let's get some greens. What other colors you guys want to see? This big old gas giant back here. Okay, there we go. About a kind of a, let's go towards the purplish violet end of the spectrum. That looks too much like our other color. There we go. That's good. Let's carry that in down here. All the way over. Okay, I'm going to zoom this out. How about some nice bright blues? Yellows. One yellow coming up. Oh. Sometimes I do catch the... How about then a bright green in here? That looks pretty good. So let's go to our filter, reshow the Gaussian blur, which you guys should be seeing. I know that was weird. Oh, that's terrible. There we go. Yeah, I knew he was old. Still, that's so sad to hear. Love Burt Reynolds. He's the Bandit. And Cannonball Run 1 and 2. Okay. So that's good. So then now what I can do is start tuning this down. Let's lower the opacity. Actually, let's jack back up a bit. Let me get my... a nice dark. We'll make it in the bluer range. We're going to darken the bottom of this planet. I'm really sorry to hear that. Yeah, I think it was a year or two ago he was. That is too dang bad. I feel, that's crappy. That's all there is to it. That's crappy. How old was he? 90 something? And lighten up the top. Let's give a little light rim around the bottom where light's bouncing back up to it. Like so. And now what I'm going to do is jack this opacity down. I'm going to put it above the pasted layer. here I can just kind of fill in some other colors. Or yellows and the like. $82, yep. Heck of a life that guy had. Being the bandit and all that cool stuff. Really makes you think about watching Smoking the Bandit. Yeah, guy was a prolific actor, man. Still sad I never got to go to the Burt Reynolds Museum in Jupiter, Florida. I hear they're closed. Now, I do tend to have an excessive amount of layers. But like I said, that's just how I operate, you know? Okay, so let's cut some holes out. We can use the silhouette. We can go to select an area and subtract from the current selection. Boom. And how about this? Boom. There we go. Select the invert. We're on planet 2. And that means we can erase this cloud area. Easy peasy. Once again, the silhouettes come in handy. Oh. Planet 1 silhouette. We will also subtract this little area. There we go. We can erase these little... Oh. Select invert. Gotta remember that. And there we go. And that's putting our planet directly behind there. That's cool. I mean, there's a little bit of work to do on that, but I want to keep moving along with this, and that's the thing. You could get caught up in too many details, but eventually there comes a point where you got to start moving along. But yeah, having this opaque layer on top of my inks here, I feel gives a nice vibe, because then the inks aren't so sharp and like in your face with their darkness. This is bugging me though. I'm going to shade this little area out. Or smudge it, I guess I should say. To blend it in just a wee bit more. There we go. So I'm back under my 12.5 there. That looks pretty cool, I think. So let's do roughly the same thing with the other little planet. We're going to call it Planet 2. Hi, Nathan. Welcome to the stream. And thank you. I'm glad. I'm a big This Island Earth fan, but of course you probably guessed that already, because This Island Earth is awesome. Okay, so let's do Planet 2. And okay, that's weird that I'm getting double screens. If you guys start seeing double screens, let me know. That's more or less what you should be seeing. Because I got some streaky bits in there. I can get rid of those here in 1 second by doing my Planet 2 silhouette, selecting it, go to my cloud silhouette, removing those areas, and up in Planet 2 here, just invert and knock them out. There we go. Boom. Okay, good. Yeah, like I said, when I look in, or I didn't say, when I look in OBS, sometimes I see double screens or something weird. So you guys, if anything weird happens, you guys let me know. So where were we? I will do the silhouette of Planet 1. I will select that. I'll leave this back as it is. This back as it is. Because that's the color right there. And let's go here and let us select the color. Boom. I'm going to darken this here. Actually, let's just use the dang old paintbrush. Get that going on. Get that edge. Lighten it up here. This is going to be an easy one. We can smudge it all around. I like that. Give that crater impression. Yeah, let's go in there and add in some nice little crater impressions. The undersides here where the craters are. And then we can swap it out for our previous color. And over the tops of the craters. Hit that. Add in some texture that way. Like a Planet Dalmatian up there. I love it. All Dalmatians all the time. Blur it. And then this guy can go nice and up. Like so. Let's get the opacity down. And once again, we'll do our little selecting silhouette things. Minus the silhouette clouds. Select the invert and... Whoa, what the heck? Oh no, that's the problem. Edit, edit, undo eraser. And this should be renamed Planet 1. So you guys been watching any movies or doing anything cool this week? I, this morning, had the distinct pleasure of watching the film Nudist Colony of the Dead. So that was great. Ugh. Such is life. But my water heater broke, so that was super fun. But I got that fixed this morning, which is exciting. And didn't cost. Parts were about $40, and then that's about it. So that's my life thus far. Hope you guys are doing well out there and on planet Claire. So let's zoom out, see what we got going on. I don't know. That planet looks a little gaudy. A little too much, I'd say. It's little clouds. Cat and Canary is a good one. Also, Great British Ghosts. That sounds awesome. That has toned it down a little bit. A Cherry Blossom Galaxy Popsicle. Wow, that's a lot of things happening there. I'm not sure I know how to do that, but I could try. I think if anything spooky happens in my life, like, or startling, that's going to be the affectation I call out from now on. Great British Ghosts! Okay. So now that we have that done, let's go to... make a layer for our mountains, which is going to go over the background sky. This is just going to be the silhouette, and then the fun and painstaking process of chopping this silhouette out. Let's use the lasso tool. Maybe that'll make shorter work of this. I don't know. We'll find out. That's not too bad. I think that might be the next thing I want to get you guys once I save up a little bit of art fund money. Is maybe I'll get myself like a Wacom tablet or something fun to work on that I can watch and I can see what I'm drawing on as I'm drawing. I'm going to have to check that out. Now, if you're being honest, Nathan, are the ghosts great or are they just good British ghosts? But if you're binging it, they're probably pretty great. Ooh, salute your shorts. Never forget the exploits of Camp Counselor Ugly and his buddies. You know what? Those probably go all the way. Okay. All right, so these are the silhouettes of the mountains. Now, see, you gotta love that. Ghosts as old as the 1500s and older. Yes. There's nothing sadder than a ghost who's like 20 years old. Mountains have to go over the clouds, like so. There we go. Let's just call this one just mountains. Let's get our original painting back up. Get some of this nice red. Go back up to our mountains layer, and we can flood fill for the gold. So what's VRV? I'm gonna have to check that out because I love Salute Your Shorts. I always felt my spirit animal is Donkey Lips from that show. It's a good time. Okay, so let us desaturate this red here. And we can just start kind of painting it in. Actually, let's make that a little darker for the shadow areas. And the joy of this is I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just throwing stuff together and seeing what sticks. It's all fun and games. I love it. And I'm just going to take these first three, we'll do 4 foothills, make the ground something a little bit different. I don't know what I'm going to watch tonight. I want to watch something tonight. Like, tonight sounds like a really good night to make a big old bowl of popcorn and throw in a movie and just go to town. And after drawing this, I'm definitely kind of feeling like maybe some classic sci-fi or something like that. That sounds appealing to me. That's the kind of evening I want to have. Once everything's done, that's what I want to do. Not sure what I want to watch, though. And so VRV is the name of the channel. Okay. That's cool. I can get behind that. I wonder if I can add it to my Roku device. I don't know. I don't know if it's... what would you call it? PS4 exclusive or not. It would all depend. Just kind of going over the hills and far away, not unlike Led Zeppelin. You'll have to look out for that. Salute Your Shorts is great. Do you guys remember Pete and Pete, The Adventures of Pete and Pete? That was like my favorite when I was like, I don't know, 13, 14, something like that. I always shipped Big Pete and Ellen because I was that kind of kid even back then. What I mean by that kind of kid, a weirdo that was shipping TV show characters. But it's all good. It's all good. Pardon me. Okay. Let's do our blur. Do they really? Oh, I'm going to have to watch all of it. I think the part that made me the saddest was when Artie left the show. Because once he was gone, I felt like his presence was sorely missed. Oh, Nathan. Oh, it's so good. You got to get into it. Pete and Pete. The great theme song. Pete's mom has a plate in her head that allows her to pick up radio signals. So good. And for some reason, young Pete has a picture of like a like 50s or even earlier 30s or 40s style like hula dancing girl on his arm, like an old-timey sailor would have. Why is that there? No explanation. It just is. So good. So good. Okay. And that looks good. Let's put a mountains overlay here up top. And this way I can kind of go over my inks a little bit with them. Sue, sounds good. Thank you for stopping in. I'm glad you did, and I'm glad you enjoy. And definitely check back. I don't think that the coloring here will be done today, so we're going to have to do another stream for it. But definitely check it out, and good to see you. We'll talk to you later. Have a good week. So let's get some of this pale color over the inks. Tone these inks down a little bit. There were a lot of shows that I watched in the 90s that I've been meaning to watch again. Do you guys remember Daria? Love Daria. Also a great theme song. It was called You're Standing on My Neck. Gotta love that. Let's get out our dullish color. We can go over the shadow inks with it. Oh, no Daria. Man, Daria is so good. Daria summed up my high school experience in the 90s, basically. It's a good time. Yeah, I like Daria. Charles in Charge. Now that's my turn to say I've seen maybe like 2 episodes of Charles in Charge. Just haven't watched too much of it. Shannon, I have. I don't think I'm going to have them at Living Dead Fest for you, though. Because I think they're Japan only. And Shannon, I do remember Liquid Television. I actually have the Aeon Flux like box set because I was a huge fan of that growing up. But yeah, they had the head, the Max. A lot of just weird, cool, weird stuff on there. I love it. The cooler and weirder, the better. But yeah, it's good times. It's good times. There's not a lot of stuff like that out there. I guess you have YouTube where you can watch like experimental animation and stuff. But not like they had back then where it was like on weekly. You couldn't not see it. Love the Max. All right, man. The Max was just such a weird show. Do you guys remember The Head from Liquid Television? About the guy who's had an alien living in his head, but his head swelled up. It was like 4 feet tall to accommodate the alien. That was a weird show. Love that. I hear you on that. Okay, let's see how this looks. Oh. Select none. I can live with that for now. That looks pretty, that looks good. Hello. That looks good. Let's do our ground then. And for that, I'm just going to make a layer. I don't need to make a silhouette. But I will zoom it out a bit. And get the top layer. We can do that. Max Headroom is a good one. Max Headroom's a very good one. It's got, what is his name? He was the doctor, Robert Picardo. Or not Robert Picardo. What am I thinking? Who played Max Headroom? Somebody look that up. For whatever reason, I was thinking it was the Doctor on Star Trek Voyager, and I don't think that's correct now. But it's some guy, like, I'll know exactly who it is when someone says, it's this guy. I'll be like, yes, it was that guy. Who is it, man? I have the original movie, the Max Headroom movie, on, of course, the most perfect medium ever invented, VHS. Yeah, Nathan, you're right. I can see him in my head. He's got like a balding head. He's kind of tall and lean. But what was his name? Man, it is killing me. These are the things, guys, that truly bother me. In my life. These are the problems I have the most of. Okay, let's get this ground put in. So it'd be from this red to kind of a more saturated. Matt Frewer, yes. Thank you both. Okay, I can definitely live with that. I'm liking how that's coming out. I'm liking that Matt Frewer was Max Headroom. That's pretty awesome. Okay, we got a ground in. Let's work on getting a silhouette then done for our big guy. Alien. Why am I spelling it with an A? Matt Frewer. Man. But yeah, the Max Headroom is... I'm a big cyberpunk guy. I love cyberpunk stuff. So, like, that's, to me, is... Max Headroom is awesome. Matt Frewer, right on. He's in, like, all kind of stuff, Matt Frewer. Like, you know, don't get me wrong, all the big celebs they bring in to, like, Steel City Con are great. But, like, Matt Frewer is the guy I want to meet. They got to get him in. He was Max Flippin' Headroom. And whatever the TV reporter that Max Headroom was based on. Because it's weird, in the show, you have Max Headroom running around doing his Max Headroom business. And then you have the other guy. The Matt Frewer plays another role. The guy Max Headroom was based on. Nathan, you're absolutely correct. He was in the Dawn of the Dead remake. He was the guy he tried on women's shoes, I remember. It was weird. But cool character actor. That's what I think I'm going to do with my life, guys. Become a character actor. It'll be sweet. Okay. This alien guy who has no name yet. We're going to have to do something about that soon, you guys. His silhouette is coming in nice. Do you guys remember, did you guys ever see the Beastmaster? If you had TNT or TBS in the 90s, you've seen the Beastmaster. But that, I want them to get Mark Singer for a convention. Who was also in V. That would be a cool one. Okay, let's keep going with this. Around we go. Where we stop, nobody knows. Pinky out. Yeah, Mark Singer would be a good one. I'd love for someone to get at a convention, what's his name? Kevin Sorbo and Lucy Lawless, Hercules and Xena. Big fan of that. I remember there was some kind of convention controversy with Kevin Sorbo a while back. I don't know anything about it. All I know is the dude was flipping Hercules, and he was on Andromeda, which is awesome. And while I'd love to see like Bruce Campbell, don't get me wrong, gotta love Bruce Campbell, I cannot imagine the line for Bruce Campbell, the cost for his autograph, etc. Like, it would be... It's a shame because I'd love to be like, hey, Bruce Campbell, you're awesome. But I think it would be kind of a nightmare in a way, too. Alright, so now I'm into the fishbowl. You know what? Rather than going through her head, I'll just go around. There we go. So you haven't seen Beastmaster, Nathan? For shame. I actually just bought, and it cost me way more than I wanted to spend on it. And it's terrible. Is Beastmaster 2 Through the Portal of Time. Oh my god. I normally don't like to spend more than $1 on any given VHS, but I had to break it for Beastmaster 2. It's so god-awful. If you guys haven't seen Beastmaster 2, highly recommended. Really? Did you guys go up to him then? Would you go up to first class and be like, hi, Mr. Campbell, I know you don't want to be recognized, but fuck that. You're Bruce Campbell. Sign my t-shirt. Right on. Did you get the Blu-ray, the new Blu-ray? So good, man. Reb Brown for life. No, don't hang your head in shame, man, because there's, you know, like, you can't watch every movie. That's just impossible, although that's my life's goal. But don't hang your head in shame. Just see more movies. And I'm sure there's plenty of stuff out there that I haven't seen yet that I need to. Okay. Getting done with this guy's fur. Yeah, it's a good night to stay in, watch some crazy horror movies. Oh. That wasn't even his shoulder. Dang. Yeah, if you went up to him and you were like, hey, sign my t-shirt, then he'd probably be like, please go away. But it makes you wonder, like, what was he doing on the plane? Where was Bruce going? Maybe to film a movie? Maybe to write another autobiography? Like, what was he up to? That's got to be hard, though, for a lot of the celebrities like that. Especially someone as popular as, like, Bruce Campbell. That he just wants to, like, just get on a plane and go to wherever he's going. And not be, like, bothered. Even if it's a positive interaction. Sometimes you just don't want any interaction. It's got to be tough. I know, right? Who would have thought Your would be on Blu-ray ever? All right, let's see how this looks. Solid gold oldies. It's looking good. So let us make a new layer called Alien. Oh, and I can turn the sky back on now. There we go. Good, good. Let me get that nice color off of this initial. Whoop. There we go. There we go. So let's make this then darker. Let's make a second alien that we're going to do this on. Start to fill in these shadowy areas here. Like so. There we go. Good deal. So now that I'm reading this comment, Nathan, was Bruce Campbell at Wizard World Chicago or was Reb freaking Brown at Wizard World Chicago? Because that would have been amazing. Reb Brown, that's what somebody's got to get as a guest. Is Reb Brown going to be at Erie Comic Con? Please tell me he is. I would also pay to see Reb Brown. Okay, there we go. We got the start of some shadows in there. Let's get out some funky, scaly colors. Let's actually get a little bit of red before I forget. Here, just with the airbrush. And we're going to hit down below here as this dirt is reflecting up onto his body. Just a wee little bit. There we go. Good deal. I would definitely pay to see Reb Brown. He's the man. He's the hunter from the freaking future. And that's pretty cool. You know, it's funny to me, but like the biggest celebrities on the planet, like the traditional celebrities, somebody could be like, you have the choice to meet like Brad Pitt or some random guy, but he was in a movie that was on MST3K. Like, I can't remember his name, but the kid who was in The Final Sacrifice running around. Because Zapp Rousdower, I believe, died, unfortunately, which is horrible. But I would meet the kid, like, hands down. There's no question in my mind about that. Like, yeah, Brad Pitt's okay. Sure, he was in Fight Club. That was good. But I'd much rather eat the MST3K kid. Okay. Let's get some greens put in on this guy. Hands all the way down. Yeah, pick any random MST3K movie. I would rather meet the star of that than Brad Pitt or Tom Cruise or, you know, whomever. Exactly. He's probably long since dead. But who would you rather meet? Right? Tom Cruise or Torgo? There is a correct answer to that question. Hint, it's Torgo. Oh, no, don't want to do that. Debbie. Was Debbie the mom or the little sister? Or the daughter? Or was she one of the wives? I can't remember which one Debbie was. But that would be amazing. Or Raul Julia from Overdrawn at the Memory Bank. I know he's dead too, but if he wasn't, I would totally not even bring up the Addams Family or Street Fighter 2. I'd be like, hey, remember when you were in Overdrawn at the Memory Bank? That was pretty awesome. Did she really? Oh my god. I'm going to have to read that. Shannon agreed completely. I want to meet a celebrity guest that's kind of an odd duck that you're not going to get everywhere else. And I'm not a huge fan of meeting the celebrities. Was it Time Chasers Raul Julia was in, not Overdrawn at the Memory Bank? Okay. That was my second option I was going to go with, but I second guessed myself. And I have failed. Straight up and down is hard with the mouse. Okay, good. Okay. Yeah, because it could have been Time Chasers. I thought it could have been Time Chasers he was in, but I can't remember. Time Chasers is the one where the guy turns his Cessna into a time machine. And boringness happens, but it's amazing. I believe. I believe that's the official what's on the back of the box. Guy turns Cessna into time machine, boringness happens. Okay, let's get some other greens and blues thrown in here. Just for funsies. Because we're going to hit our old pal Gaussian blur here in a minute. Go. Craisins. Okay. We're blurring. There we go. Everything's kind of smoothed out a little more, which is good. Hobgoblins, yeah. You mean you don't want an ex-army guy to challenge you to a rake fight? All right, we're starting to get an idea for this. What else needs doing? Let's see. And I'd like to keep his inks pretty crisp and clear for the most part. Let's go in and do the alien's face. Alien face. What a movie. I love it. Now, apparently there's a sequel that they made, but I have not seen that. A sequel to Hobgoblins. Man, what were they thinking? I want to see a sequel to Merlin's Shop of Mystical Wonders. Okay, but enough of that. Let's move on. Let's do this alien's face. What color eyes do you think you should have, guys? Because we could do some nice white eyes here. We can make the eyes a different color. Like kind of a yellowish. And I'm not talking about the pupil here. I'm talking about like the scalia, the white part of the eye. This is already looking. This is already making it pop out the whole face. Just getting these eyeballs done like this is great. Boom. Yellow eyes with red pupils. Let's do it. Kind of a palish yellow. I like that. That looks good with that green on his body. So then we're going to get our yellow, and we're going to get a darker shade of it with a little bit of that green mixed in. So we're going to zip up here, and then we're going to go darker value. Let's change our brush. And we're going to add some eyeball shadows. To start, and then we are going to go back to our original color. And we're going to hit just a little bit on the edge there as the light is bouncing back onto the eye. Oh, that was too much. Same with there. I don't want that. Just a wee little bit right in there. Hi Stacy, how you doing? This is GIMP. I'm a notorious cheapskate, so this is the freeware version of Photoshop that I'm in. So good times. I like it. Like I would definitely use Photoshop if I knew that it would give me more than what GIMP can offer. But as it stands right now, I'm pretty proficient with this program. So I can just kind of hop in there and do what I need to do. Like I don't know if my process or my workflow would change in Photoshop. So like why pay for it? That's kind of been my philosophy for a while. I've been using GIMP now for like 6-7 years, and I like it. And this is even an older version. I haven't like updated this in forever. I kind of figured that that's who this was, but it's all good. It's all good. I know who you are because of your credit in Jack and Julie, which I did find you, by the way. So, awesome. Let's add a little eye shine in there. Gotta love some eye shine. Okay, those eyes are coming along. I kind of love it because it looks like Dr. Seuss drew this alien, and that makes me so incredibly happy in my brain. I love it. Now, Stacey, you use Photoshop, right? What's the what like features in there do you like using? Or how should I say, like, Like, are there any tools in there that are different than, you know, kind of what you're seeing here? Because that's what I'd like to know about. Like, I don't know if it's worth $20 a month for me. But if there are things in there that are just incredibly useful, then maybe I'll switch over. Take the plunge. Okay. Let's get these chompers put in. There's an implied line down here of gum, so we gotta avoid that. Or lip, I guess I should say is the better term. But these little triangular bits right here are meant to represent his where the teeth intersect with the gum line. Yeah, I'm using layers very extensively here with this. I'm not sure what kind of tricks Photoshop has. I'd be interested to check that out. Because for me, I'm just like essentially creating new layers constantly and putting them in. Let's see how this is looking. Ooh, I'm liking that face. Yes. Let's get some red. Some dark red. And we're going to fill his mouth with it. Go all the way over. Boom, boom, up. And let's make sure that fills. Not quite what I wanted. That's okay. Did they add new stuff, Shannon? Okay, cool. I will keep that in mind. I will bear that in mind. Let's darken this up a bit. All right, let's go back out, see what we're working with. Yeah, I should do the free trial. I think I've done it before, like a year or two ago. I needed it for a commission. I needed to use Illustrator, so I got the free trial of Illustrator, which I like. I don't do a lot of vector stuff. It was for a logo, so it needed to be done that way. But yeah, I liked it generally, more or less. Adobe doesn't usually put out bad products, that's for sure. Okay, so let's get some nice dark gums. Healthy, healthy. Nah, that's terrible. That's awful in so many different ways. Let's make his teeth kind of yellow, too, to match the eyes. He's going to have yellow freaking teeth. Unless you guys think you should have a different color set of teeth, like purple teeth or something. I don't know how that would look. Let's turn the opacity down even more. Just do a quick pass with this white. All right, let's see how this looks. Select none. I'm selecting none of the things. Okay, face is coming along good. Let's get these mandibles in there. Let's mandible it up. I'm going to add my shadows on this alien 1 layer. I don't do, that's too big. Now, when you guys who do the coloring, when you guys are all coloring, is this generally the same, like, do you guys do the same kind of stuff that I do? Something different? Because I don't know how different my coloring is. Oh, good. I'm glad you like it. Thank you. Yeah, I'm always curious to know what's different. What am I doing that's different? How to improve? Let's get that filled in there. Some of these nice head shadows put in. Nope. And use our silhouette here. And this way I don't have to worry too much about going along the edge. Oh. There we go. Lots of layers. Okay, right on, right on. You know, I don't even know how good of a grasp I have of it. I just, it's my philosophy with everything in my life. Throw it against the wall and see what sticks. So sometimes it works. Sometimes doesn't. Mm-hmm. Okay. And then I can use the smudge tool, which I like, to just kind of move things around. Add some light where it needs to be. I think the face is coming along good. How about these mandibles? What color do you think for the mandibles? We could try to match it to the teeth. I don't know, and the horns too, you guys. I don't think you should have purple mandibles. I don't know. But then again, maybe he should. Let's try this kind of white color. Oh, no, that's not what I want to do. Alien face. Venom green. Ooh. I think that sounds like a Keen idea. Keen. I'll tell you what, let me get these put in like almost like silhouettes. What are you doing, mouse? You're going crazy on me. I think I'm actually going to split the difference between what both of you guys said. I think they're going to be a little closer to the eye color on the like base, and then they're going to taper out to like a crazy old green color. And we'll try that, and that's just it. It's like, if it doesn't work, we shall change it. And that'll be good. The one thing I wish with the digital coloring that I could do is get faster at it. Like, I feel like anytime I do this digital coloring, it takes forever. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, because I enjoy doing it. It's just that I wish I could just, like, there's some people that can get in boom, boom, boom in a half an hour. This thing would be colored. Yeah, and you're probably right, Stacy. I would agree with that. Yeah, I think I might need to start looking into saving up, because that would be a blast. And maybe I could offer digital coloring as a service to clients. Because as it is right now, I generally tell people, if you want digital color, it's going to more than double the cost of the piece of art. Because, man, I'm slow at it. It takes forever. And while we're here, we can go into our pasted inks layer. Just trim up some of this garbagey inks. Adds a little texture, but not the kind I'm looking for. Okay, we got that. Let's go to our alien face. Let's select just these sections, and let's get our super bright Venom green out. And let's apply. So I'm going to go to Dynamics. I'm going to choose a fade length. This works somewhat with a mouse. Nope, that's too much. Yeah, you're supposed to fade. Nope, let's just turn the dynamics off, because I can never get these things to work. If I had a pen that could sense, the what's it called? If I had a digital pen that could sense like pressure changes and stuff like that, maybe, but I don't. So that's all she wrote there. All right, let's go to our zoomed out view. Select none of those things. Oh, the green doesn't look too bad. It definitely pops, which I like. It's just that little bit of extra juice. Maybe here I can add some like dripping, oozing venom off of it. So his face is coming along. Let me go in and let me work on. I'll just leave it on the same layer, but do his fingernails. Might be fun to do the same kind of deal with it. And I definitely want dynamics off for this. Yeah, I think we can go in and add stuff. And that's one thing that I do enjoy about working digitally is as opposed to just the ink on the paper, which I love that. And I'll never not love that. But it's kind of unforgiving in a lot of ways. Like if you screw up with the ink, it's screwed up forever on the page. With digital, I like the ability to kind of change stuff, push stuff around. If I want to add some oozy bits, I can add some oozy bits. And that's always appealing to me. I think that's the biggest appeal of digital. The undo button and the ability to like change whatever. Okay, there we go. One hand down, another hand to go. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That, nope, didn't quite work. Let me just give it the old manual fill-in. Yeah, gotta love an alien with oozy mandibles. Okay. Yeah, I love the ink. It's so good, but yeah, sometimes it's like, dang you, ink. There was a marker piece I was working on. Nope. For a like a more fine art show. It was more fine artsy, a little bit more. But I tried to get clever with it and add rubbing alcohol to the marker alcohol to kind of get a nice smooth blend on it. And it dissolved like through the paper. And this was after I have it recorded too. I have like 6.5 hours of recording of this thing, and I'm just like, ugh. To this day, I can't throw the piece out. You know. All right, let me select these guys. You should try doing some pen and ink stuff though, Stacy, because it's very rewarding, I feel. But yeah, it is when you screw up though. When something screws up, you're just like, God, why, why me? Okay. Some quick shadows on these. I find though that most art is rewarding. Even the stuff I don't particularly like I'm not a sculptor, but I do enjoy sometimes just kind of playing with it a little bit. And it's fun. I feel like if I can learn something from anything, it all helps, you know. Definitely try again. Now, Stacy, do you color with the mouse, or do you have a like a tablet, or even like a digital like brush or something? Because I'm curious how you guys do it for the comic. Okay. Let's back out. Let's see how he looks. He's coming along nice. I'm happy with him. His face reminds me of something out of like The Simpsons too. I think it's those big eyes. He's got those. He's got those peepers. A Wacom tablet. Oh, that's cool. I love that. I don't know. I just love this guy's face. I just do. Stacy, I agree with you. That's the one to get. I bet you the costs of those types of things are going down. They're still probably pretty dang expensive, but still. Kang and Kodos, yes, you got it. Good call. Good call. There we go. Okay, there we go. Let's back us out. Let's take another look-see, see how he's coming. Yeah, the face is good. I think it pops too. I can read it really good. $2,000. Holy crap. Do you know how many VHS tapes I could buy for $2,000? The answer is 2,000. But yeah, man, that is a lot of money. But still, it would be awesome to have. You could form like, let's say, an artist's initiative. Get like 20 other artists you know, and you all go in on a tablet like that you share, and then you just have to kill 19 people, and it's yours. I'm just saying that's a way to do it. Okay. So that's coming along good. What do you guys think I should work on next? Should I move into Space Gal Claire or knock out that rocket ship? What are you feeling? So, layer, new layer. Silhouette Claire. Let me at least get the silhouettes. I'll try to get them done on both. So, for Silhouette Claire. Claire, okay. Claire, then Rocket. All right. Sold. Just trim along the edge here. Choo into there. Okay. And then we can start thinking about some decisions for what Claire's coloration is going to be. Based on the initial preliminary color thing I did at the beginning, I have her suit as being yellow because Wally Woodruff once drew a astronaut girl in a yellow outfit, and I really like that. But I don't know. You guys can help me decide. That's the fun of live streaming. Okay, so let's go down. I already bought it. Sold. Yep, this is coming along well. I'm really enjoying this, the whole kit and caboodle here. I'm glad it's turning out good. I love this kind of like spacey retro stuff. It's just I don't know. It's a ton of fun. Yoink. Go over to your knee, Claire. I think I should do a Claire versus the Astro Brains comic. I don't know. That would be fun. But I have no idea about Space Gal Claire here. What's her story? Where's she from? Why did she get to this planet? Claire is sensible enough to, I just realized, wear a boot without a heel on it, so good for her. Sold on the comic. Outstanding. Claire versus the Astro Brains. He'll suck. You know, it's like I feel bad because when you're exploring an alien planet, I mean, obviously the thing you want to wear is like a 6.5-inch stiletto heel. It helps with the exploring. No, Claire's a sensible gal. She wears sensible shoes. No stilettos. I could see Claire having a wedge. That'd be okay. There we go. Whoop. Claire understands that it's not just about fashion, it's about exploration. Okay. Let's zip this up. Now we're listening to the soundtrack from The Brain That Wouldn't Die. Watched a movie recently called Dr. Hackenstein. Same basic gist as The Brain That Wouldn't Die, with, dead fiancé, needs new body parts for good times. Good times. Okay. There we go, Claire. There she is. Flats are the way to go. Next time I explore an ancient steaming jungle or maybe a piping hot desert, I'm going to remember your words, Stacy, and make sure I wear flat shoes. Thank you. Okay, this is a stinking mess right here. Do you guys see all this crap? That's got to get cleaned up. I can't say I recommend it, Nathan, but it is a film So that meant I had to watch it. It's a movie called Dr. Hackenstein. Of course I had to watch it. I literally had no choice. The siren song of bad horror movies called my name. Okay. Man, why is this so messy in here? It's weird. It looks like I forgot to erase the pencil lines there, but I'm like 99% sure I did. That's okay. We can even clean this thing up further. Oh. Make the lines even a little bit thinner. There we go. So speaking of exploring, I don't know about you guys, but I'm always fascinated by the tales of explorers and like things like that. Yeah, I think they did happen when I scanned it. I think they are like errant pencil lines, but I'm pretty sure I erased it. The ink might have been a little wonky at this section. Yeah, the guys who explored the deepest cave in the world that men have crawled into, they spend like 56 days underground. And the trip back to the surface takes, like, when you're at the lowest point, the trip back to the surface takes like 2 weeks to get all the way back up. That's nuts. That's nuts. But I'm fascinated by that kind of stuff. Yeah, that's probably true. That's probably what it is. That looks a bit better. That's on my screen that I just tried to erase. Okay, that's good. I'm happy with that. I know there's some stuff around her neckline. You see that garbage right there? Let's get rid of that. The face looks good, but one thing I'm going to go in there and do is just make this a little better. We're going to use what's called a path here to get this nice thing. And we can adjust these little... Okay, so we're going to put them at the corners of our mouth here and here. We can get this nice curve. And we'll do selection from path, and then we're going to go to select invert. Okay, and we're going to do another path here, a new one. It's kind of a weird thing to be doing, but I wanted to make sure this lip shape stays nice. No, I hate that. I felt like her lower lip there, that line is just a little too thick. And I want to make it nice and... Okay, there we go. Selection from path, and I can erase what's inside of it. That should make the lower lip look just a little bit something or better. I don't know. No, I don't know. Okay, there we go. But I feel that's a little better. I feel like the face is generally okay. Silhouette, we can erase some of these up here. There we go. Okay, so we got Claire's silhouette in. Nice. I'm going to create a new layer that I'm just going to call Claire Clothes. And on our, let's get rid of the silhouette. Let's get rid of the background. And I had this yellow color selected for her, so we're going to go with that. Unless you guys think I should go with something different. You let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to move forward with, what's the word I'm looking for? Claire's Clothes being this nice yellow color. Use my silhouette, and I can just start zipping that in. And I think we're going to do the gloves a different color than the outfit. But I don't know. The yellow appeals. But we can always change that if you guys would like. We can definitely adjust. Changing it to whatever. So if you guys who are watching see anything that strikes your fancy, yell at me. You like the yellow? Good. Purple's not too bad. Gray's actually not bad either, but I don't know, I kind of like the color. It's kind of a pale. A little paler might not be a bad idea. How's that look? I like it. Another thing I'm going to do that I really feel I messed up on when I was doing this, well, it's not too bad, but this line like that goes along her butt here, and the bottom of her leg, her thigh, and even back here is really flippin' thick. I didn't intend for that when I was doing this, so let's see how bad it looks when we zoom it out. Yeah, I kind of want to trim that. The back of her is not bad, but this down here is just a little too thick for my tastes. So let's get in there and we'll trim that out. Man, this movie's soundtrack is sleazy. Love it. We'll use our curves here to make a nice curve for Claire. It is still the Brain That Wouldn't Die soundtrack, yes. It's filled with this like sleazy jazz that's happening. Good stuff. Okay. Ah, not what I wanted to do. There we go. Select none. So let's zoom out and see if that is a little better. I'm going to say yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely going to say a yes to that. I think it looks a lot better. That's just a personal pet peeve. So now let's get in there, and I'm going to drop the value on this just a little bit. I'm going to actually increase the reddish a bit. Now I can start adding in some shadows. Let's jack up the rate on the airbrush. Oh, not what I wanted. Undo airbrush. There we go. Sleazy science, gotta love it. Okay, and actually, I'm gonna outline her leg area here. Remove that from the selection so that I can airbrush without worrying about getting any on that thigh there. Okay, good. We can adjust all this stuff here later. Same with, I'm going to do the same thing here. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Okay. Subtract from selection all this leg here. Okay, good. Oh. Keep needing to remember which layer I'm on. There we go. Underneath here, underneath the control panels. Alongside there. Whoop. That's okay. And there's our lights coming from the front, kind of along the side here. Let's get the rib area. Along the side of the breast, under the arm, under that deltoid. And I'm just kind of roughing these in. Now, I definitely feel like Claire's neck is way too long, but I don't think there's a lot I can do about that now. I could lower her head. we go. That's starting to come in nice. Let's get her old clothing color out. It's not too bad? Okay, good. Yeah, because Maria didn't notice, and she always notices things like that. I'm the guy that notices a lot. So if you guys tell me it's fine, then that's, I'm okay with it. You know. Could always lower it by a tiny bit, but maybe a little later. Actually, it wouldn't be too hard to lower. Decisions. Okay. Yeah, let's do this thing. I'm not a perfectionist for nothing. Right along that sartorius muscle there. Okay. It's a good system. It's why I got married in the first place. So that I can have someone tell me that's good or that's bad. Okay, let's lower this face. Luckily, it's not going to be too bad. I don't think. I say that now. Right? It's one of the perks of being married is if you're wrong, you're always going to know about it. Takes the guesswork out of things. Okay. Boop. In there. Yep. Okay, so let's go to pasted layer. By Claire's head. Hi, Claire's head. Let's put on a new layer. We're going to call it Claire Head Inks. And now I can take this and I can shift it. Let's go to Silhouette of Claire. We can erase. There, let's go to our friendly alien. Go. Okay, and let's see how that works a little bit. Yeah, luckily Nathan, her head was in a position on the page where I didn't have to worry too much about it. Like, it was pretty isolated. You know, if it was like, let's say this Astro Brain here, he's not moving anywhere. He's surrounded by all those lines and blah. But her head was pretty isolated. So I'm okay with that. I still don't know if that looks right or not, or maybe it needs to come over and down a bit. Because, whoa, she's floating all over the place. It's a floating Clairehead movie. I love it. So initially it was here, but yay. Let's put it there. Let's zoom it out. The one thing I don't like is that there is a tangent on her chin. There we go. I mean, that's a little better. The only other thing I can think of... I know, she's like, she just watched the movie House, and then she decided to fly around and bite some girl on the butt. Whoa. I don't want the tangent, so it's either her chin goes behind there, like her head's down in there. Even a little bit like that would be okay. And then I can shorten up her neck too. Blah. Okay. So blah is saying that her shoulder, let's make this a color we'll see. Bright blue. Her shoulders are like this. So her head would come up here. Like so. And so she'd be sitting like, I'd say about there. So her face is kind of down in there. Ah, gotta be bold, Colin. Gotta be bold. Bold. So we're going to take, where's that Clairehead inks? Let's select all that's inside there, and let's go to our pasted layer, and let's hit delete. Can't do that, okay. That's a mess. Okay, so pasted layer, now delete. Now where's Clairehead inks? So does this look any better where it's positioned at now? I can change up her neck just a pinch. But it's definitely down just a little bit further. Does that look any better to you guys who are watching? Good like that? Okay. Works for me. Let's revamp this silhouette here. Do this here, and then erase up at the top. Again, something else I like about working digitally is you can't do that on paper. 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 You can't do that on Yeah, luckily I was just in a good spot to be able to do that with her head. Like I said, it was just kind of pure luck that made that possible. Boom, delete those, select none. Let's get out some good old-fashioned black. Bob Ross's Lamp Black. And let's see how that looks. I can live with that. I can live with that. I think that's good. That's good indeed. Okay, so let's get back to Claire's Clothes, which is the name of a store I think I'd like to open. And we can move on from there. I think I want a little bit more head shadow here. There we go. Maybe a wee bit more going this way. Good. Okay, good deal. Let's blur this. Let's do one more past the blur. Okay. I'm happy with that, generally speaking. And I can smudge it and move it around as I see fit. The rate up. Right along that nice long sartorius muscle on the inside of the leg. A little bit, pushing and pulling where it needs to be. There we go. Okay, cool. Yeah, this is coming along nice. Let me get this. Oh, don't want to do that. Why do I keep doing that? Okay, I'm happy with how this is coming along. What do you guys think? Move on to the face or do her accessories? I think I'm going to move into, I don't know. Okay. Face. All right, sounds good. Claire face. I don't see any real things I need to clean up or want to clean up here. I'll definitely select her silhouette. Then we need a good skin tone for Claire. Let's start with that yellow. Let's move into kind of a reddish. Let's try that. Yeah, the face is pretty good to get, and then the accessories, we can fill those in. The accessories are usually pretty easy. The face is going to be more difficult, so it might be good to get out of the way now. So let's fill that in. One thing I see I need to do is a little spot right there in the silhouette. Okay, so let's get a good color for shading. Let's move up into the greenish spectrum. Towards the green blues. Let's drop the value a pinch. And then we can start kind of, maybe even more. You know, Vallejo usually uses that. He uses greens and purples and blues for shading. And that's always like crazy to me to think to do that, but that's what the man does. Okay. Lower the brush. Some under eye shadows here. Still some more on the hair. We're keeping in mind the light source coming from near the top. Get some cheekbones in there. Oh! Not what I wanted. Not what I wanted. Okay. Blur it just a little bit. This will be good. Ah, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to blur a bit, but not a ton. There we go. And then let me get some reddish, like some a blushy color. This will go in the areas where there's the most amount of blood on the face, which would be around the eyes, and the ears here are a little red, cheek areas, that looks terrible, but trust me, it is a process. Now let's add in some almost makeup here. Blur it again, pretty good. Use the blur tool. To really get in there with these things. Bit of a smudge. Bit of a smudge. Alright, what do you guys think for Claire's hair and makeup? What colors? If anybody's still watching, I don't know. This has been going on for forever today. So sorry about that. Thanks to everybody who's joined again. But I'm in the zone, not the auto zone, the coloring zone. I think I'm going to do... She has a yellow suit, so how about like purple eyeshadow? Plus purple's my favorite color. Pale purple? I think we're on the same page, Stacy. Alright, she's suddenly giving me a Jubilee vibe. Let's make that, definitely desaturate that. Okay, there we go. She looks less like she's working on the Vegas Strip and more like an astronaut. Good. Darken it up just a bit to get a little shadow area here. Now, I don't wear makeup, so I have no idea what it looks like. I have no idea how to apply it, so I assume that that's eyeshadow. I don't know for sure. But that's okay. And one other thing we need to do is go with our original flesh color and go just under the chin a little bit. To help separate the jawline from the neckline. Good, good. Okay. I'm going to take this Claire face and I'm going to put it above Claire's head. Okay, that's awful. I love it. And then we're going to tone it way down. Way down. Then I'm going to make a new layer, again called Clear Face. I'm going to fill this in. Good. Claire eyes are going to go here. So in Claire face, I'm going to first make a hole. Just go around. These are the inks I do want to stand out, so... You know, I should learn more about makeup. Not about wearing or applying it, but just about... so I can draw it better. There's probably an easier way to make this face look better, but you know what? I never take the easy way. Always the hard way. There we go. So for Claire eyes, let's do white. So a tiny hint of pale. Ah. All right, what do you guys think for Claire's eye color? Blue eyes. Let's first add just a pinch of shading to the eye. Green eyes. Beautiful green eyes. Blue eyes. Okay. That looks good for now. We'll leave that be. Worry about that. Let's go to hair color. So first of all, where's Claire's head inks? I'm going to select the black. Go to the Claire face, and then I can erase. Actually, well, didn't want to do that. No, that was not right. Add in all these little sections. Aha, okay. There we go. This way I can get kind of all of this stuff. Okay, now I can erase with some impunity. Ah, but not there. Oh, God. Okay. So just erasing the little hair sections. I'll leave the eyebrow. Okay, select none. Good. Let's zoom out, see how Claire's looking. And not terrible right now. Not amazing, but not terrible. She's got a lot of work that needs to be done. Claire here. Under the headings, we can select her silhouette. And Stacy said, brunette or dirty blonde? Dirty blonde. I don't know. Just need to start with something. Let's see if dirty blondes do have more fun. I doubt it. I bet they have the same amount of fun as everybody else. It's just a hair color. Like Captain Kirk. Okay. We can do that. Oh, she looks horrible right now. I love it. She looks like some freakish nightmare. Drawing's done. I can't improve it any more than it is right now. It's terrifying. I love it. Okay, Claire, you need your head back. Boom, head. So now I need to figure out what is his hair color. It's hard. That's going to be tough to do. Exactly. Claire's dad was a French scientist who needed to get a new face for her. Really a touching story. That could work. Okay. Whew. All right, guys, I am running out of steam. Let me finish up her face, and then I think I'm going to call it a day. that looks good. Okay. Going a little further. I can get these aspects here. And even these ones down here too. And erase that. Okay, good. And hit these. Whew, boy, okay. Can do another layer, which would be Claire Hair 2. Let's put that underneath. I'm going to make this the base color. And then we can drop Claire Hair 1. Make sure the inks aren't too crazy. There we go. Just lightens it a little bit, which is good. Which I am happy with. And then let's get our white out. Our really light yellow. Flow and the rate, jack them up. We don't need to select anything. We can just, I'm going to spray right on top. Well, that's not spraying anything. Good. That's okay. So we're going to try this again. Lower that opacity just a bit. I'm going to do a new Claire hair layer. And on this one, which is at 100%, this one I can, get that nice spray in there for the hair highlight. Talk about golden locks. Oh no, I don't want to do that. Filter, blur, And let's get a Gaussian blur on that of pretty good. And then this I can tone down even more. And then clear hair. There we go. Select invert. That top clear hair I can erase around the edges. Good. Okay, that's some Claire hair. Let's me do her lips. Which I'm just going to do right on this Claire face layer. Some big old lips up in there. And a nice red color to start with. Get your face on, Claire. Thank you, Nathan. I aim to please. I just don't want the blacks of the ink, especially with blonde hair, to be super, super black. Okay, that's good for the lips. We can erase that. We can select this area here. Let's get into some nice darker reds. Go on the undersides here. Upper parts. We can increase this opacity. And then get some nice white bits here. We're going to change to kind of a scattery brush. Let's go this way. So let's go to filter, our old friend Gaussian blur. There we go. And then I can go in with this on a little bit more of a And then can't forget one last thing. I always miss this with the lips, is get a pale shade and put it back to a regular brush. the light is reflecting off the chin up into the lip. Gotta have a little bit there. Clear hair, clear eyes. Where's clear face? Okay. Interesting. So, which layer am I at? This is the problem with too many layers. Lips are gone, face is gone. Clear eyes. So clear face 1 is what we want. Select, invert. Clear a nice little clear tongue. Alright, and I'm going to call that good. Some little highlights there. It's such a small piece. So, okay guys, I think that's probably going to wrap us for today. She definitely needs some work. That's for sure. There's no denying that. But so far, I'm happy with the progress that I've made on it. The lips need some work. The face needs some more work. But I'm running out of steam. I've been streaming for 4 hours. Good God. Okay. So as you can see, the coloring process takes some time. But I'm super happy with what we got done today. I'm loving a lot of this. I'm loving this guy's face. It really brings a smile to my face. And thank you guys for watching. Nathan, Stacy, whoever else is out there watching and lurking. Thanks a bunch. We'll see you on the next one. Hopefully I'll be able to get another stream going sometime early next week, because I'd really like to have this ready for Erie Comic-Con. But, oh, the other thing that I haven't done in 4 hours, saved any of this. Fun stuff. Okay, guys. It is saved. Thank you all for joining me. We'll catch you on the next one. Have a good night, everybody, and goodbye.